Pastor Ian couldn't make it today. So as a member of this church, welcome to Graceway. I guess I can welcome you here. Ladies and gentlemen, L.C. Swing. That song was appropriately titled Teddy the Toad. You have to have warts in order to be in this group. Welcome everybody to our Sunday afternoon, swingin' afternoon Sunday, I guess you could call it. That song, Teddy the Toad, was written by Neil Hefti. He's a fun man who ended up leaving the music business to start a garbage bag company, I'm sure. But where's my rim shot? Okay. Our next selection was written in 1923 as a waltz. But pretty soon, in order to be popular, somebody arranged it as a foxtrot. It became very popular and remains today on the jazz standard list. Here's our favorite arrangement of Who's Sorry Now?
This is my mother's favorite song, too. Yes. When I first started playing the saxophone back in the 5th grade, that's one song my mother really enjoyed. She didn't like anything else, but she liked Guess Who's Sorry Now.
Is that what she told your dad when you were born?
Okay, I think we better get off of this train and move on. Here we go. Dave Steinman. The solos were Chip Chinall on piano on that one. Yeah, beautiful. And also Dave Franklin on trombone. And I think that was it, but I'll always like that number. When the solos, they have no music. When they stand up and they play, they're just taking what comes to mind and playing it. Unfortunately, it has to be in the right key, and it has to be in the right style. So it takes a very advanced musician to be able to do that. They call that improvisation. Okay, school's out. Take it, Gary.
Larry, did you hear about the little boy who told his mother, he says, when I grow up, I want to be a musician?
No, tell us.
She said to him, I'm sorry, honey, you can only be one or the other. Oh, that was bad. All right, we're going to tell you about some of the musicians who have been with us the longest in this afternoon's concert. Their dedication has helped to make our ensemble very special. First, I want to introduce our lead tenor sax player, who's been with the band for a number of years, Mr. Dave Flanagan. He's our featured soloist on this next selection. It's Jerome Kern's Yesterdays. Every good big band has to have a good singer, right? Well, ours is very good. She's been with us for over 20 years. In fact, she was so young when she started, she had to have a permission slip from her mother. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Allie Dixon.
I'm the big band singer, standing up here
would like to introduce you to the person who has been a part of LC Swing the longest. Please meet our very fine saxophone player, Mr. Doug Reinhardt. Now, Doug has been with LC Swing so long that, well, when Doug signed up, the Dead Sea was just a little bit sick. This next number features Doug and the entire saxophone section. It's called Barn Burner.
I'd like to add a little bit more to that, even though I wrote the announcement. I didn't write the joke, though, that was good. Doug also plays in the Orlando Concert Band, and he's played in various groups, and plays a saxophone quartet, and it just goes on and on. And he has been with us for over 30 years, if you can imagine. The band is probably maybe 35 years old, I don't know. It's hard to say. They didn't keep records very good back then. And so I think, but Doug is always Mr. Reliable, and we all enjoy having him in the group, of course. Okay, we'd like to show off the saxophone section here. And this, as Gary told us, is called Barn Burners.
I'm ready.
Gary, is it my turn?
It is.
Okay, we'd like to pass a hat now. Of course, we have expenses, we have to cover them. We have to pay the guys to be good here. Thank you. So would you please dig deep? You know, if you're wondering how much a concert to hear a group size like this, usually around $10 if possible. You know, but whatever you can afford. We appreciate it. We appreciate your support. So the ladies that have the baskets, would you come up now and pass them around? Pass them around. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to have the band introduce themselves, and I want them to tell you how many years they have been playing in the band. And we've got a few rookies, and those people that are the first year, just say rookie, okay, and would be just fine. And then we have a couple subs also in the band. We have a new bass player and a new drummer. And so our rhythm section is growing every day, every rehearsal. And we hated the loss of people, but every once in a while we lose somebody from moving out of town or retiring, which is the case of both of these people. So at this time, we're going to start out with Dave Flanagan over here, and he can tell us a little bit about himself, how long he's been in the band, if he can remember, okay?
I can't remember much of anything these days. I didn't write it down when I joined this band, but I think it was about 15 years ago. And things keep slowing down, like that last tune we just played. That's as slow as we've ever played that song. I can't even play that slow. But anyhow, I'm from Detroit, and I played in a lot of bands, played the same kind of music back in Detroit. So.
Hi, I'm Bill Nakia. I am a rookie. I'm one of the oldest people in the band, but I'm one of the newest also. And I, like Dave, played a lot of the same type of music where I grew up in Connecticut or where I lived in Virginia Beach. It's a pleasure to be here with this band. It's a lot of fun. Take care, guys.
I'm Carmen Plentz, and I'm also a rookie here, back in Minneapolis, Minnesota. For about 30 years, I played in a Basie style band, so I really appreciate this group and the music that they play.
Doug Reinhardt, and I also am from Detroit. And when I joined this band, everybody that was in that band, they're all gone now. And it's been a lot of years. So.
Hi, my name is Dan Southworth. I actually grew up in Ocala, just down the road. And I really got playing this music when I joined the Army back after high school, so it's really enjoyed playing. And I've been in the band for 3 years.
My name is Bill Gingrich. I'm from Pennsylvania. I am also a rookie, although I did sub on a few gigs last year. But my background is more rhythm and blues, rock and roll, but I've also been playing big band music for many years, and this band is a treat.
I'm Dave Strandberg. I grew up in Los Angeles. I've been playing since I guess I was about 6 years old. Played the baritone because they said my arms weren't long enough, so I had to wait till I grew a little bit. But I've been playing ever since. Played in Georgia. We lived in Georgia for over 20-some years, and I've been with this band now, I guess about 8 years, I guess, somewhere around there. I'm like Dave over there. I didn't write it down either, but it's a great band, bunch of good guys.
Hi there, Paul Holtzman here. I'm an immigrant from the state of New Jersey, currently living in the Villages on a purple card. I guess I'm probably what you might call the grandfather of the band because I just turned 94 like a couple of weeks ago. All I can say is it's nice to be on this side of the grass, okay? So,
I'm I'm Ed Stromsky from New Hampshire. I started with the band about 3 years ago on bass trombone. Then we get some guys that really know how to play the bass trombone and promoted me up here to the second trombone part, so it's great to be here. In addition to big band music, I enjoy playing in the pit orchestras for musicals.
Hi, my name is John Sambo. I'm from California, and I've been playing with this band for 15 years. It's a lot of fun.
I'm Chip Chenault. I'm originally from the Virginia, North Carolina area. The place that I was really from is no longer in existence. It got washed down the river in the last big storm up there. It was Swannanoa. I came from Swannanoa, North Carolina. But anyhow, I've been down here for quite a while, and with the band for about 25, 26 years, right around in there. Larry and I pretty much came together. He grabbed me out of another band. But we do. We have a really good time. We enjoy this music very much.
I'm Dave Cottle. Chip said to tell you why I'm here, and I have no earthly idea. I've been with the band 17 years. I played my first job with the band the day after my daughter was born. She is currently a junior in high school. So, I've been around a while. It's good to be back here for a couple of tunes.
I'm Jim Ball, and I'm a rookie. Been with the band about 3 months, and I'm really enjoying it. I grew up in Athens, Georgia, and spent time in Kansas City and Pensacola, and the last 25 years in southern Michigan, teaching at a small college there.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Moss. My first appearance in the band was back in 2004 on, I believe, a Valentine's Day dance. I was a substitute musician on that particular gig, and I continued to do that for a while. So I believe I've been a permanent member since about 2011.
My name is Jim Meyer, and I'm from Dearborn, Michigan. I started playing trumpet when I was 9. I ended up graduating from the University of Michigan with a trumpet performance degree. Now involved in business, but I've been with the band, started subbing at least 15 years ago, and it's amazing how fast time goes by, just unbelievable.
Yeah, hi, my name is Dave Sahara, originally from Western Massachusetts. I've been playing this style of music and all kinds of style of music since I was 8 years old, and started playing in bands out in public when I was 12 and haven't stopped yet.
Hello, I'm Mark Ely, originally from Syracuse, New York. This is my 12th season with LC Swing.
I'm Gary Corton, and I'm the mic boy.
And Allie, would you like to say something? Yes, of course.
Of course, you know, I'm Allie Dixon. I joined the band in 2005, like I said, with my mom's permission slip. And in 2009, I became the director of music and media here at Graceway Church. And so since I got the microphone, I just wanted to tell you that next Sunday night we have our big Easter musical, choir Easter musical at 6 p.m. So you'll love it. It's called The Day He Wore My Crown. It's a classic by David Clydesdale, and we hope to see you there. We have pie afterward, yeah.
What time does it start? 6 p.m. Starts at 6 p.m. and we usually have about 500 people. So the overflow rooms are, people are in there and what have you. And Oh, Ori didn't say anything, did he? Ori's one of our other wonderful rookies, and I'm so happy to have him.
Thank you so much. My name is Uri. I'm from Tel Aviv, Israel. We don't have big bands in Israel. We have big bangs. Yeah. So this is a pleasure to play music here. I just moved to the Villages 3 years ago. Never played with big bands before. This is like new to me, and Larry's keeping me on my toes. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I've been with the band like maybe, I don't know, 3 months. Thank you so much.
Now, Dave Connell is very special to us, and I've invited Dave to come back so we can kind of highlight him on a piece of music. And so this one, it's called The Beach. Close enough?
Officially, it's Orilla del Mar.
Actually, in Mexican, yeah, Orilla del Mar, which means the beach. Okay? Here's the band and Dave Connell.
Thank
I'm tired. I get to tell you a couple of stories. Number one, Oliver Nelson. He was a saxophonist, an arranger, a composer, and a band leader. He was highly respected for his compositions and arrangements, both for TV, theater, and the concert stage. Nelson led a very busy life performing throughout the country, but it was a short life. He died at age 43. He left behind a lifetime of great compositions. One was recorded by trumpeter Maynard Ferguson and is simply called Groove. And here to play it for you is another one of our longtime musicians, trumpeter Bill Moss, who I'm sure is going to make it past 43, because in fact, every time I see him, he has a beautiful woman on his arm. Bill, how much did that tattoo cost? just for the heck of it. What do trumpeters and pirates have in common? You both have trouble on the high C's. Ah. All right, I'm going to have to read this next one. Oh, I don't have to read it. It's Allie. Here's Allie again to sing two wonderful songs.
If I had to choose just one day to last my whole life through, it would surely be that Sunday, the day that I met you. Newborn whippoorwills were calling from the hills. Summer was a-coming in fast. Lots of daffodils were showing off their skills. Nodding all together, I could almost hear them whisper, "Go on, kiss him, go on and kiss him." If I had to choose one moment to live within my heart, it would be that tender moment, recalling how we started. Darling, it would be when you smiled at me that way, that Sunday, that summer. Play it, Dave. Go on, and if I had to choose one moment to live within my heart, it would surely be that tender moment, recalling how we started. And darling, it would be when you smiled at me that way, that Sunday, that summer. Thank you. I need words for this one for sure. Thanks for bailing me out on that, Chip. Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway, the hip hooray and ballyhoo, the lullaby of Broadway, the rumble of the subway train, the rattle of the taxis, the daffodils who entertain. hear daddy say, and baby goes home to her flat to sleep all day. Good night, baby. Good night, milkman's on his way. Sleep tight, my baby. Sleep tight, let's call it a day. Listen to your lullaby. Old Broadway.
All right. This next song, I've Got My Love to Keep Me Warm, was composed in 1937 by composer Irving Berlin. Now, it must have been in the winter up north, don't you think, when he wrote that? I think so. It couldn't have been here in Florida. Man, it's hot enough here that our cows only give evaporated milk, you know? Oh. The instrumental version was recorded by the Les Brown Orchestra in 1946 and soon became a million seller. Here is I Got My Love to Keep Me Warm as played by the Les Brown Orchestra.
This is from the Les Brown Music Library, which is very expensive to get these arrangements. And we were lucky to have this, just happen to have it in our library.
That's Larry's way of saying I'm not going to get paid tonight.
No, no, very few days like that. Remember, it would have been World War II, I guess. Les Brown, Bob Hope did the tours overseas and what have you. And he had, his big band, and they put on quite a show. So Marilyn Monroe was there, and all the names you'd recognize, I'm sure. So this one is a really typical arrangement of that period of time.
I've only seen movies. awesome. All right, here's a song. It's part of a suite called Kansas City Suite, written by Benny Carter, and it's a 10-movement composition based on various memories of the city's highlights. Carter was an American jazz composer, saxophonist, clarinetist, trumpeter, arranger, and band leader. Through his 95 years, 95 years he made it. So you got at least 400 weekends to go. That's good. He received many awards for his work. When asked, what's the best part of being 95 years old, he said, there's no peer pressure. All right. Here's one of the movements from Kansas City Suite titled Vine Street Rumble.
And there actually is a Vine Street in Kansas City.
Yes, I've been there many times.
Yeah.
I used to live down, in fact, I used to run on Vine Street.
Who was chasing you?
One for Larry.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Don't you know?
All right, sometimes we have a longtime member that just makes the band play better. Dave Caudle is one of those kinds of people. Hey Dave, what do you call a drummer in a three-piece suit?
Union secretary.
Yeah, that's close, defendant. All right. Dave played drums with the band for 17 years and then had to move to Gainesville. We asked him back today, especially to play on, you've already heard him once, to play on this last piece. Welcome, Dave, as we play The Beauty and the Beast.
don't forget to check us out on our website because we will be back next fall. Okay, lcswing.com.
Thank you, Ally. Yuri, do you have anything else to say? Oh, I'm sorry.
Can't we do one more concert?
You know, I was just telling Ally, I said, it just seems like this season has gone by.
It's been so short.
It seems so short.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of sick for the last couple of years, and I'm feeling great now. So,
Awesome.
heck yeah.
Well, then we'll have it back at least in early October, right? Okay.
We'll be back in October with our America Proud concert. And this week, okay? All right, here we go. 2, 3, and go.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I had worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my family in my life. I thank the Lord above to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I can stand up next to you and defend their still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee,